Hi, future CPAs. So I was just chatting with a CPA candidate, and I asked him what his number one struggle right now is with the CPA exam, and he explained that it was the volume of the material that he had to cover and the struggle of actually grasping it. So I don't know if you can see here on my screen, but I had a little chat conversation with him, and I completely get it. When I was studying for the CPA exam, it was just about this much information and far as well, and it is a ton of information. And I've actually devoted my life to helping people grasp the material that is necessary to pass the CPA exam. And I really wanted to show you what it's like to study for the CPA exam. And more importantly, I want to show you what it's like studying for the CPA exam when you only have a CPA review course, and then when you have a CPA review course and a CPA exam mentor. So there's a very big difference. And so, this fella, he was struggling with understanding the volume of the material, and I explained to him how my mentorship program worked, how we're going to help him grasp the material with the amount of time that he currently has available. So, I've got Roger CPA Review pulled up here, so it doesn't really matter which CPA Review course I'm using. I've got access to all of them and all that fun stuff. But if you haven't started studying for the CPA exam yet, here's what it's going to look like. So you're going to have your CPA Review course, whether it's Roger, CPA Excel, Becker, whichever course you pick. You're going to have primary resources being lectures, and then you're going to have practice questions. Then you're going to have analytics to help you dig into your questions to basically assess what your weaknesses are so you know where to spend your time. And then you're also going to have a study planner. And so these study planners, they're pretty basic. They give you a calendar, and then you set your date that you're planning to sit for the exam, and then they're like, okay, well, based on that date, then here's what you need to do on this day, this day, this day, and this day. Now, the problem with this process is that it doesn't teach you how to study. It doesn't help you make the time to study. It doesn't help you mentally prepare for this process. And really, it doesn't help provide you with any sort of community. So obviously, Roger CPA Review, they've got email support. Other CPA Review courses are a little bit more hands-on, give or take. There's different ways that they support their students and so forth. So, what do you do if you're somebody who has no clue what you're doing? You're terrified of failure, and you just feel like you're a little bit lost and you have no idea. Even though you're watching a video and you're reading the textbook, you still don't get it. You're not understanding the material. And so that's exactly what this fellow was struggling with that I was chatting with. So, that basically when you're studying for the CPA exam without a mentor, this is what the process looks like. You're basically just studying and praying that you're doing everything that you need to do. What is the advantage of having a mentor? Well, as a mentor myself, I've experienced the CPA exam. I know exactly what to expect. I know what not to do and what to do. And I've been able to teach over 1,000 CPA candidates on this exact process. And so, if you have a mentor, an effective mentor, you really want them, one, to teach you how to use a CPA review course based on how you learn best. So our lectures, should that be your primary focus, or should you focus on the textbook? Is that a better place for you to start to learn the material? When you're answering questions, how do you answer questions? How do you keep track of the questions? How do you identify outside of analytics? Because again, analytics, they can get pretty complicated. It's kind of overwhelming, a lot of numbers. How do you use this as a tool to save you time and not to get you distracted and so forth and creating overconfidence? Like, how do you know that your analytics are accurate? How do you use them? In terms of notes, how do you create notes? Do you write down everything possible, or is there a better process in terms of taking notes, creating flashcards, and so forth? So again, these are all the questions that you need to be asking yourself right now. Is there somebody in my life who can assist me with this, who has experience with passing the CPA exam, who has experience with my CPA review course, and can ultimately spend a lot of time and actually teach you all this information? Now, obviously, you have a choice. You can go out and find somebody like that if you're lucky enough to know some CPAs, or there is a shortcut, and it is my mentorship program, Ultimate CPA Exam Guide. So I do, in full transparency, I partner my mentorship program with multiple CPA review courses. So if you head over to U.C.E.G market.com, So I currently am the official mentor of Rogers students, of CPA Excel students, Jaeger and Gleim, and I'm hoping to add more CPA Review courses in the future. But again, I have students who are using every single possible CPA Review course you could imagine. So right now I've got looks like just over 980 members in my private study group who are all over the world. So I have experience with all the different CPA Review courses, but I just have official partnerships with these particular companies. Now, I get great results for all these companies, but I also get great results for the other courses. So at the end of the day, if you're worried about what CPA Review course to buy, just know that it's not which CPA Review course you use, but how you use it. And that's what I have consistently seen happen for CPA candidates all around the world, is that when they have a good CPA Review course and then somebody to teach them how to study to actually grasp this level of material, this volume of material, then that's when real success happens. So don't be thinking that you need multiple CPA Review courses and multiple test banks. You have everything that you need here in the text and the lectures, and you just need to focus and develop a system for actually learning it and grasping it. And so this is where my online course comes in. So basically, and I should mention this first, so if you decide to enroll in my mentorship program, and you can apply to join at mycpamentor.com, the very first thing that I want to do is to, again, assess your current situation. So I have you fill out what's called a mentorship profile. So I'll assess, where are you in the process? Have you passed any sections yet? Are you sitting soon? Have you failed? What's the latest event that has happened in your CPA exam journey? What's your mental state right now? What section are you studying for? What course are you using? How much time do you estimate that you can spend studying per week? And then based on this, I'm going to help you optimize that time. How many hours per week are you working? Who is your accountability partner? So again, we really want to build a strong community of people around you to support you so that you don't risk isolation and becoming depressed, because again, when you're studying for the CPA exam and you're around people who don't understand this process, it can feel very isolating, and that happened to me. I don't want it to happen to you. So I really want to connect you to a very close person in your life as quickly as possible, and then teach that person how to support you. And then, of course, do you have kids and all that fun stuff? And then what's your number one challenge? And then we try to, within 24 hours, assess and help you give advice for every single thing that you just shared. So that's one of the perks of having a CPA exam mentor, is you've got somebody who can literally look at your specific situation and give you proactive advice. Because again, the CPA Review course companies, they just give you all the materials. They don't teach you how to do all this, and then you have to contact them with your questions. And a lot of the times you don't know what questions to be asking. So that's the whole purpose of a mentorship program, is to basically, I'm going to predict what issues you're going to have and then help you with them before they even pop up. Okay, so then basically based on what you fill out in your mentorship profile, we'll send you personalized videos, personalized emails, and really address every single thing that you shared. And then while you're waiting for us to compile all that information based on what you shared, I highly recommend that you dive into our online course. So this is where basically we're going to teach you what's called the U.C.E.G method. And this is, again, the method I've taught to over 1,000 CPA candidates. It's a process that I followed to pass the CPA exam, and it's just extremely, extremely successful in helping busy accountants. Doesn't matter if you're in public accounting, private accounting, you're unemployed, a college student, this method works for all accountants that I've run across. And so really what we dive into is first making sure that you're mentally ready for this process and helping you overcome any obstacles, any fears that you might have. Then we help you plan. So, it's much more than just a study planner. We want to look at your specific situation, give you the tools that you need to decide how many weeks you need to study, what date is best for you for each individual section that you take, so that one, you can give yourself the best chance for passing, but also increase your flexibility so that if something bad does happen, that you can immediately sign up for a retake, and that it's all remaining flexible based on your situation. Again, we also want to teach you how to study. So how do you learn best? What features within your CPA review course are most important. Is it, the video lectures, or is it the textbook? What is it about the way you learn that connects best with your CPA review course? So that's what Module 3 is all about. Module 5 is making time to study. So there are going to have to be difficult sacrifices that you're going to make temporarily, and this is what Module 4 is all about, is helping you complete basically a life audit on yourself and really help you prioritize what is more important than becoming a CPA, what is less important, where can you make additional time, so that we can get you to the optimal number of hours that you can be studying per week. And again, helping you balance family, work, and the CPA exam without going insane and all that stuff too. So it's very time, but also relationship based. So Module 5, it's all about helping you create CPA exam study loops. So again, the study loop process, if you're not familiar, is wrong button, is very important. So you look at audit here. So there are 9 modules just in audit. This is one of the smaller sections, but if you don't implement study loops and if you just follow a study planner, the process will be that you'll go through audit 1 through 9 without really doing much review, and then you'll spend 2 weeks trying to review everything. But when you think about it, if you're not constantly looping back and reviewing everything you've learned up to that point, then once you get to module 9 here, you're going to have forgotten everything in audit 1 and audit 2 and then audit 3, and then you're just setting yourself up for a very stressful final review time in the final 2 weeks before you sit for your exam. So with the study loop process, you're devoting about 90% of your time learning and then 10% of your time reviewing. And so what this allows you to do is to get through modules 1 and 2, and then it's time to do a quick hour or 2 review of everything you just learned. Then move on to module 3, then do a quick review of everything. And so you're just constantly looping back and reviewing. And so by the time you hit module 9, what's in module 1, 2, and 3 is just as fresh as what is in module 9. And then you can focus your final review and do what are called final review study funnels. So study funnels are, again, the final 10 to 14 days before you sit for your exam. And instead of relearning a bunch of information, you're only focusing on your weakest areas that you just never had time to really focus on and so forth. So again, this is the process that I'm going to teach you. It's going to also be CPA Review Course specific. So if you go here, then I've got study workflow tutorials for each of the major CPA review courses. And again, it's just like this video. You're watching over my shoulder as I show you how to use Roger, how I'm using Show Becker, Surgeon, all those major CPA review courses. So no matter what course you're using, I can teach you how to study with it with these study tutorials. So then other things to consider is, are you a super test taker? Do you have your test anxiety under control? Because if you had test anxiety in college, it's going to be amplified 100 times on the CPA exam because it's so much more stressful. You also need to understand the psychology of multiple choice questions, I try to get into the head of the test creator. So how can they, how can you understand what the questions they're asking you, and then how to overcome their tricks that they build into the questions. How do you tackle task-based simulations? Because those are extremely difficult. What's the best way to study for those? And then this is something else that nobody talks about at the CPA review course companies, which is, what do you do after you sit for an exam? What do you do when you're waiting for your scores to be released? How do you prepare for failure? The probability of failure. And if you do fail, how do you prevent yourself from going into meltdown and giving up and just beating yourself up? So that's really what Module 7 is all about, is failure recovery. But then also what happens if you pass. So I was somebody who I had passed 2 sections in a row, and then my ego just blew up. And then I started getting lazy, I started taking shortcuts, and then I failed 2 sections in a row. And, it was a testament to, you have to keep your ego in check. And so these are all the little things that a mentor will provide and what my mentorship program provides. So if you don't enroll in my program, you really need to focus on these areas. Find somebody who can help you with the mental stuff, the planning, the time management, the study methods, using your CPA review course. So this stuff is so important. And I've also got a bonus going right now. So I'm including my note-taking masterclass. So that's all the different strategies and ways to take notes and stay organized so that you're not wasting your time and creating busy work, and just all sorts of amazing things that I basically create based on feedback from these 980 members that I've got here in the private study group. So people are constantly posting questions in here, asking for help, sharing success stories, sharing that they failed and what they need to do better next time. And what's cool is that everyone in this group, it's a moderated group, so I'm in there every single day answering questions. The people in here are vetted, so they're all customers. They've all been through the same training. They all understand exactly what it takes to pass the CPA exam, and we're all just in this together. We are here to help each other pass. And my favorite thing to do is go to U.C.E.G.success.com, and I've started tracking every single success story that we've had, and I've been able to take 105 screenshots from our private study group of people sharing how they passed, what section they passed, what their scores were, what they wish they would have done differently, and just all these amazing stories. Some folks even leave videos sharing, watching themselves check their own scores and then sharing their feedback on what their experience was like, what they overcame, and so forth. And it's just an amazing community. So if you're alone and you're feeling isolated about this process, then I highly recommend that you go to mycpamentor.com and apply to join Ultimate CPA Exam Guide and just give us a shot. Again, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if within 30 days you go through our program, join our community group, go through the mentorship sessions with me, if you're not 100% confident about your ability to pass this exam, then we don't deserve your money and we'll give you a refund. So again, 30 days, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain by passing the CPA exam. And with the pandemic and everything going on right now, it's more important than ever to pass the CPA exam, because when a company is looking at who they're going to lay off, you got 60% of accountants not being CPAs. So that is a majority of accountants who are really at risk of not being the best that they can be, not being the best, most valuable employees in the company, and so forth. So when you pass the CPA exam, you're going to create freedom in your career. You're going to, and if a situation arises where you do lose your job, there's going to be so many more opportunities available for you. You can jump industries, jump businesses, just start a new type of career, go into teaching, the FBI, governmental, whatever your ultimate goal is, the CPA exam is going to help you get you there faster. And so if you're procrastinating on the CPA exam process, now is the time to do it. It's a great opportunity for you to improve your standing in the community and a resume builder as well. And if you need a mentor, I'd love to be the one to push you, to light a fire under your butt to get this thing done and passed. So I really hope that this has helped. I'm really excited to help anyone who is overwhelmed with the volume of material that is covered on the CPA exam. We've really cracked the code. And, I'm going to start helping this fellow just this afternoon with this process. And I'm very excited. And if you are somebody who wants my help as well, you can go to mycpamentor.com and check it all out. So I really hope to see you on the inside. And with that, I think I'll leave the opportunity to post any questions that you have in the comment section below the video. And I am more than happy to help. So have a great day. And enjoy the upcoming holidays and busy season coming up in 2021. We'll chat soon. Thanks.